Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the daily show coming at you from the great state of Florida. One hell of a drug. And I do want to welcome you to the channel wherever you are tuning in from around the world. Thanks for watching. Today we're going to talk about what happened. There was meant to be a Bitcoin pump. There was meant to be an announcement of a strategic Bitcoin reserve. And what did we get? We didn't get that. We didn't get that announcement. We're going to talk about what we did get and what are the difference between the two and what that does mean moving forward, as well as a whole bunch of other news. I have an exciting announcement here on this channel, and I encourage you not to skip any of this broadcast because I will be sharing about something that has a limited number of spots available for this. Okay, so I just want to let you know I've got a very exciting announcement that I'm very excited to talk about, and that's going to be coming up soon as well. But before we get into all of that, smash the like button. This does help get this channel out to more people and does help support the channel, as does all the amazing comments that you guys leave. Thank you so much. You take the time to write it. I take the time to read it and respond to you. Thank you. And those that leave questions in the comment section, I do get back to those as soon as possible. And of course, if you would like more immediate engagement and connection with me, you can find me in the Stocks with Josh Discord. That's found in the description of this video. You may need to click the more button there. And of course, you can find me in there. And I have my own crypto crown traders channel on there where I share education, resources, some insights, my trade setups, and of course, entertainment. Because I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. Are you not entertained? Okay, so we're talking about what happened yesterday and what did happen yesterday. Well, first of all, let me cover the Japan cash carry trade. It looks as though that was priced in, okay? So obviously we'll see how the stock market reacts. And early trading last time I checked, it seemed to be fairly stable there. We do have the FOMC meeting on Wednesday. And while I consider and think that the rates will stay the same, I know the current administration is pushing the Fed to cut rates. I'm not sure if they're going to comply. My feeling is they won't and that they will hold steady. But I am worried about Fed Powell because last time he talked, the market tanked in December and we lost our Christmas rally thanks to the Christmas Grinch. My general feeling is that I'm hopeful that he's going to come out. I'm leaning towards that he's going to come out a little more dovish, but I feel like that guy, even his dovishness is bearishness. Okay, so Travis King says it puts it pretty well because we had the executive order that was meant to create a national digital assets reserve, but instead they created a stockpile. That's not what everybody was expecting. There was confusion. And so for me, that's what happened. And the price dropped. It's rebounded a little bit off the basis of some other news that came out shortly after. We're going to talk about two of those things. Number one, Trevor says, what happened between the national conference and today where the word Bitcoin wasn't included in the executive order a single time? So I didn't watch it or read it, but apparently it's not included in the executive order. Very interesting. And then Trade Travel Chill said, why would Trump sign a crypto executive order to create a national digital asset stockpile instead of a strategic reserve like most crypto enthusiasts were waiting for? And I think she breaks it down brilliantly over here. And so we're going to go through this tweet where it's the reserve is a long-term national backup supply. Our stockpile is small and targeted for short-term needs, okay? Then it goes on to say that possible reasons for a stockpile, it's faster to implement, faster action. Building a strategic reserve requires years of planning. A stockpile can be set up relatively quickly. A political strategy, they can show action now without committing to a huge expense or a responsibility of a long-time reserve. I like that. I agree. Stockpiles can target specific sectors or issues if there's shortage of medical supplies, for example. There's budget considerations. Reserves can be costly to build and maintain. Stockpiles less expensive there. And, you know, a strategic reserve locks in a long-term policy shift by focusing on a stockpile. They might avoid binding commitments there that leave bigger decisions to future administrations, such as a new administration coming out. They can just dispel that and just dump all the Bitcoin, and that would cause a little bit of a problem. So I think, why does it matter? Many people were expecting a reserve because it provides long-term security and signals national commitment. A stockpile might feel like a temporary fix than a permanent solution. And then finally there, in short, a stockpile is faster, cheaper, and more focused, but it falls short of the comprehensive security a strategic reserve offers. This could leave many frustrated or let down once they finally work this out. And this is exactly what I think. She's absolutely nailed the sentiment. People are like deflated because the stockpile and part of what I had read that somebody had commented, and I would have to dig into this a little bit deeper, was that they were just going to use the assets initially that have already been seized, like the Bitcoin that the US government already has, that they're probably just going to hold on to. What people were expecting is for the government to come out and say, we're going to accumulate this much amount of Bitcoin every year for the next 5 years as a national digital asset reserve. And they didn't. And so it now feels like other coins can just be added and other coins can lobby to go in there and add to it. So I think there was confusion. I think people don't know. They're wondering what's going to be added. It seems to me maybe the US government is not actually going to buy any Bitcoin or is not making any commitment as yet to buying a Bitcoin. And that's why it fell flat. Price went down a little bit, but it did jump up based off a piece of good news that I thought was good news here, which the SAB 121 got rolled back. And of course, this is where the SEC had said to banks, you can't hold digital assets, made it very difficult. Now that paves the way for the possibility of banks holding digital assets, maybe one day even earning interest. And what did I say? If you look at my video from my predictions for 2025, one of the things that I said was banks being able to hold digital assets and being able to get loans off those, use them as collateral, and also earn interest off them and send crypto back and forth from the bank. So I think this is really good. And so after that deflating news came out, I think the price dropped a couple of thousand. The price has popped back up again, and we're going to look at that right now. We're going to look at the Bitcoin chart. So what we see here is that we're back above this 104 level, which I said I felt was really important, okay? And obviously it closed below there, and we had equal wicking to the upside because people were indecision. They didn't know, first of all, if the new administration was going to follow through on their word and what it would look like or how it would look like. And then it came out, and I think people are still feeling uncertain and confused. And then the good news came out, which I think was the repeal of that SAB, what is it called? SAB 121. They came back and repealed that. And I think that brought a little bit more certainty to the market that we're moving in the right direction. And certainly having a digital asset stockpile, no one knows what that means or what's going to be in it. What kind of commitment are they going to be adding to that? Are they going to be buying specific reserves, or are they just going to be whatever they have seized? And I don't know, apart from Bitcoin, what else the US government has seized. It makes me nervous about some of the coins that could end up into that basket, which could really devalue Bitcoin itself. Because let's face it, there are some coins that are being rumored to put in that basket that have a very high supply, and that a large portion of that coin is held by one entity, for example. And so what we're looking for here is, I have said one of the things that I felt was for February, we would see by the end of January, by the end of February, we'd see a new all-time high. We saw that in January before we even got to February, but it wasn't much of a new all-time high. I just peaked up to 109. I feel like this candle is going to get eaten up, okay? And I do feel that 113 is incoming, and I have set a target for 120 in February. So let's see. I'm going to keep saying that over and over again so nobody can say, oh, when did you say that? No, I'm saying it every day. I do feel 120. I am overall short-term a little bit bearish. We do have the FOMC meeting, but there's not another one until March. That gives crypto an opportunity to not allow the Grinch to dump on our bags, which is negativity and bearishness, for 2 months, from the end of January to the end of March there, and maybe that will be the end of the bull market there. I don't think so. I have given my prediction. I felt August, September time for the end of the bull market, but I do feel that there will be a drop. The selling may go away. Last year it happened in March, and this year again it could come early in March as well, or possibly April like it did in 2021. And just remember, in April 2021, I'm going to keep saying this so you remember, many altcoins dumped and never ever came back and died. and many other altcoins dumped and didn't come back until this bull run, and some of them are not even back to their previous all-time highs. So this has been more of a bull run for the trader rather than the investor. Probably been a little bit more difficult, as well as there being so much coins and so little liquidity. It's, if you're in the wrong coins, you might have suffered in this bull run. Whereas if you've been in Bitcoin, Solana, some meme coins, Sui, then you're probably doing very well in this bull run. And of course, if you're day trading or swing trading, you're probably doing very well, because remember, the market ranges more than it trends. In other words, it goes sideways more than it just goes up or that it goes down. It spends much less time going up or down than it does sideways. And if you're in altcoins and it feels like it's just going down all the time, you might be in the wrong altcoins there. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for from here. Of course, any bad news to the downside from the FOMC meeting, we've got the 100k area there with a 20 EMA on the daily is. We've got the 50-day moving average at 98,800. We've got the, this is the 20 EMA, the 50 simple moving average, and the 50 EMA on the daily here is sitting at 97,381. That would be on my initial areas of support. We've got two Fibonacci's there at 98 and at 99,000 and change. If we were to break down further, if it was super bearish, like they did something unthinkable, like raise the interest rates, we've got the 100-day moving average at around 90 there. It's significantly moved up, and the 200 EMA down there at 81. And we would hope that we wouldn't go as deep as the 76,000 at the 200. And we've got a bunch of Fibonacci levels there as well. I play it level to level. So for me, first of all, if there's any significant drop, I want to see if this 99 to 100K region, this Fibonacci, where there's a bunch of moving averages, does that hold? Obviously, if we lose that, that brings in this 92 to 90K level. And then we're back at the bottom of a previous range. Right now, we're in a new range. And the new range is the 100,000 to about the 110,000 range. That's the range that we're in at the moment. We could return to this range, or we could move and create a new range, which I do believe is coming in February. Once we get this FOMC meeting out of the way, I'm going to feel a lot more confident and a lot more positive about that. Okay, let's check out the yellow brick road here. Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. And now you know why the market ranges more than it trends, because they can just keep going up, taking the liquidity up here, and then coming back down again and taking this liquidity down there. This is why it's a trader's market more than an investor's market. If you buy the low point of the range and sell the high point of the range, that's the best way that I've found to make money in this market. So we do see most of the liquidity is below here on the 12-hour, 102K. There is a little bit up there at 106. And then at the 24-hour time frame, it's above at 106, not a lot of brightness below there. And again, it's above there at 106 on the 48-hour, on the 3-day time frame. It's above there. We've got the same theme, 106. So 106 seems to be where most of the liquidity is at the moment. Of course, there is a lot up there at 110. I do believe that's going to come. That's our big wick that we got up here. I believe we're going to come up and that liquidity is going to get grabbed at some point. We could possibly leave this liquidity behind and come up and take this 106 and then this 110 level there. And then let's jump right out to the 3-month time frame there and have a look, see if there's anything that's changed. No, there's a lot of brightness up there, 273 million at 109. Of course, there are some levels down there, all the way down there at 74, my goodness, but I feel like that could be left behind unless we see some kind of severe correction brought on by some negative sentiment in the FOMC. We're going to see what happens. Of course, anything can happen at any time, but you can go back to the 12-hour. It's quite possible there's a flush out before we go up and take that 106 there. Maybe we come down and hit that 104, 103, 102, maybe even come down and tag that 102 down there. Who knows, maybe even a little bit lower there before we go up, or maybe that just gets left behind and we go up. Because if we keep going up to 110 and coming back to 100, they'll come down and get that. So it just depends how long we stay in this range for, and I do feel like we're going to move out of this range by February. We may only stay in there for another day, maybe another week or so, but at some point. Super Bowl Sunday has generally been a time I found, especially last cycle, where things really started to catapult off. Everybody's talking to their friends about their crypto and their latest trades, etc. Okay, let's talk about the news And so the news is that I am, drumroll, starting my own Discord soon. I am still going to be in the Stocks with Josh Discord. Nothing is changing there at all. My level of involvement will still remain the same. And you say, how does that remain? Possibly because my Discord will have a limited number of spots. And so if you would like to go on the wait list for those spots, there is an email address down in the description of this video. You might need to click the more button. Some of you may have noticed already and wondered why it was there. If you email me, I will go in order, and it'll be the first amount of people that come in. Now, I haven't determined what will be my first wave or the number of the first wave. I can also say that if any of you have done a training with me, so any of you are currently doing live tradings with me, and I am full for live tradings, so don't ask about that. You get exemptions, but you still have to email me. You and I have emailed, so you just reply email and say, yes, I would like to go on the wait list. Those that have done one-off trainings with me, because when I got full from my live tradings, I did open it up for one-off tradings, and I did a ton of one-off tradings at the end of last year, in the last quarter of last year. I haven't had time to do any this year. You also have exemptions. You have my email address already. All you have to do is email me and say you're on the wait list. You're in. So anybody have done tradings, any private trainings with me, or are currently doing private trainings with me, you're automatically in the Discord. Okay, that's number one. And then for those of you who haven't, email, because I'm basically going to go in order. Just like I did for the live tradings, one-on-ones, I did it based on the order that it was sent to me, and then you will go on a wait list. What does that mean? It doesn't mean that you're signing up for the Discord. All that means is that you are on the wait list, and when the Discord does go live a couple of days beforehand, I will send an email invitation to you and say, yes, on the wait list or whatever, and you have the opportunity to be one of the first people in the Discord. Now, I'm keeping it smaller by design, and the reason for that is twofold. As you know, in the Stocks with Josh Discord, I'm very active and engaged in there, and I look to always reply to people anytime that I'm tagged, and I want to make sure I'm able to do that and also fulfill my needs in the Stocks with Josh Discord as well. So it's going to be a smaller community to begin with. We will grow. So even we will have a cutoff, and there will be, okay, there's going to be X number of people in the first wave. And then we do plan on having a second wave. Now, it could be weeks or months later, and then a third wave, etc. And we're going to scale it up because I want to make sure to be really hands-on in there, and to really make sure that I'm giving the attention that I am able to give in the Stocks with Josh Discord that I do already. And I will be looking to add some own crown traders in there at some point, as well as, of course, having moderators in there also. So that's the big news. I'm very excited. I spoke to Josh about it. It had always been a plan that once I got to 10,000 on my YouTube channel, which we have busted above, I think we're around 10,000, a few hundred now, that he wanted me to start a Discord. And so I am doing that. And that's very exciting. That's something that I wanted to do, that he's really encouraged. So thank you to Josh. Incredible. And so for those of you who would like to join my Discord, now many of you will ask, when will be the launch date? I'm not sure of that yet. I hope it will be in the coming weeks. But of course, if you want to be on the wait list for that, you need to email and just put your send in and say, yes, I would like to be added to the wait list for the Tribal Trades Discord that is coming your way soon. If you have any questions, please leave it in the YouTube, or if you're in the Discord, you can tag me in the Discord there as well. But of course, as always, until the next episode, happy trading.